Hello Internet, so nice to see you! Today we're gonna talk about three-dimensional guitar phrasing. And this is not just a metaphor, meaning that yes, of course, I want to show you phrasing that sound good as opposed to the dull and colorless and lifeless two-dimensional phrasing which is flat. But also, in this case, in this specific case, it's actually three-dimensional. Because, you see, the guitar neck is a three-dimensional object. It has a length, a width, and a depth. And depending on how we attack the string, on how we act on the string, we get a different kind of phrasing. Let me explain first what I mean with this three-dimensional phrasing, and then I show you how you use it to train it and to get better at phrasing in general. Phrasing, as you probably know already, it's anything like bends, vibrato, slides, hammer-on, etc. You know. Now, as we were saying before, there are three possible directions of action on a string, and those are along the fret, along the string, and perpendicular to the fretboard. If we play a note and if we move it along a fret, we bend it. And if we decide to repeat the action many times, we obtain vibrato. So that's the first dimension, along the fret. If we act on the very same note, but we go along the string, we obtain slides. And if we decide to repeat this action, we obtain what could be called a slide vibrato. If we decide to act on the note along the third dimension, which is perpendicular to the fretboard, we obtain hammer-ons and pull-offs. And if we decide to repeat this action over and over, we get a trill. Now, what is the advantage of thinking about phrasing in this way? There are three specific advantages. Advantage number one is that now you know what you can do on any single note. You can act on it along the fret, or along the string, or perpendicular to the fretboard, and you have essentially only those three options. And it's gonna be easy to try different kinds of phrasing because you can simply think, let's try in this direction or let's try in this other direction. It just makes it easy to remember what you can do. Advantage number two is that those directions are actually the direction in which your hand needs to act. Which means this, whenever you work on a slide, meaning you're working along the string, you know that all the strength in your hand needs to go along the string, which means you're not gonna put any energy along the fret or against the fretboard. You have to be relaxed in the other two directions. Whenever you work on a bend, on the other hand, you want your energy to follow the fret, so push in this direction and not put any energy or tension along the string or against the fretboard. Whenever you work on hammers on and pull off, all your energy goes instead against the fretboard, perpendicular to the fretboard, and there should be no energy on the direction of the frets or the direction of the strings. So whenever you play a hammer on or pull off, you're just making sure that you're not bending it. Dude, that sounds bad. So just knowing what is the direction of action in your phrasing helps you play it better, because you know that all your strength, all your muscular tension needs to go in that direction and not the other two. Advantage number three is when you realize that playing along the same direction for a while, it's easy but boring. Meaning, I can play a lot of slides one after another. But after a while, it's boring. In real music though, it sounds much better if you change this direction. For instance, if I'm playing a hammer on and then a slide, I know that in the hammer on, all my energy goes against the fretboard, and then in the slide I have to relax this kind of energy and put my energy and strength following the string. And if at the end of this phrase I want to put some vibrato, I know now that my strength needs to go and follow the fret and not the string or the fretboard. Knowing in what direction every phrasing element acts helps you playing this stuff technically, because you know where you have to focus in any single point of the phrase. Not only that, it helps you not doing always the same thing. So if you find yourself playing a lot of bands, make sure you switch every now and then, otherwise your playing gets boring. This three-dimensional phrasing, it's a very simple idea, but it gets a lot of mileage if you sit down and you try to really implement this in your guitar practice. And now that you know how to play any note in a nice way by adding phrasing to it, and you know what kind of phrasing you can add on any single note, you also need to learn what notes you can play and what are your options on any given chord progression. If you are watching this video, it means you like playing lead guitar, which means you like playing solos, you like improvising, you like writing your own solos. If you want to supercharge your lead playing and getting to know all the possible scales and modes options you have on any chord progression, I recommend you guys check out my course Master of the Modes, where I go through all the possible scales and modes. We work on the modes of the major scale, harmonic minor and melodic minor. We work on the full diatonic scale, we work on arpeggios, we work on pentatonic, we work on combination of all those things. And there are tons of exercise for creativity, improvisation, soloing, so that you can apply all those new scales to your playing. I really warmly recommend you check it out because it will supercharge your lead playing. If you like this video, click on the like button or smash it if you are so inclined. If you like this channel, subscribe and let me know your questions and comments down in the comments below. I really want to hear from you. This is Tommaso Zilio on musictheoryforguitar.com, and until next time, enjoy. About three-dimensional guitar phrasing. No, yeah, there. Phrasing. Phrasing. Not phrasing. Phrasing, not phrasing. Phrasing. There. It has a length, a width, and a depth. Okay?